live coast to coast and border to border on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course, TalkShoe as well. We have got Lorna Mitten with us today. She joins us live. She's a book author and publisher in Tampa, Florida, and she joins today here on the telephone. And Lorna, welcome to the broadcast. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Now, you have got an incredible background. Tell me a little bit about how you got into the business.
Well, I got into the business from being a teacher, actually. I taught kindergarten and elementary school for many years, and when I had my son, I decided to go out of the classroom, and I had been doing a lot of work with as a consultant and stuff, so I transitioned to educational publishing at that point. So, and I've been doing that for the last 18 years now. So
fantastic. We have got a great guest with us today. She joins us live here on our big broadcast, coast to coast and border to border on iHeartRadio and also AMFM247.com. Tune in, iTunes, and of course you can find us at JiggyJaguar.com. Now, as a child growing up in Tennessee, did you want to be a writer or work in book publishing? Talk to us a little bit about this.
I did not. I had no idea I wanted to be in publishing. I didn't even want to be a teacher. So I kind of came to it like the back way and to teaching the back way as well. So but it's what's right for me. So my first experience in publishing was actually in high school by default. One of my friends was the school editor and newspaper editor, and she got in trouble, and so I took over. And that piqued my interest then. So
we have got a great guest with us today, Lorna Mitten with us today. She joins us live. How did you end up being a writer, editor, and book publisher?
So I started writing first. When I wrote with another author, she asked me to write in a program that she worked on called Readers for Writers. And so I wrote and was the reading consultant on that program. And then it just continued from there. I really have a passion for making books that are accessible for kids but are engaging and support them as readers and writers. My master's degree is in reading, so I definitely, come at it from making books that are supportive for readers.
Lorna K. Mitten with us today. She joins us live here on the telephone, talking a little bit about her latest project and everything that she's involved in. So you've written over 50 books. What are some of your favorites?
My favorite books that I have written are some of the concept books I did. And I know that sounds funny, but they're beginning concepts for kids, and trying to write them in a way that is engaging but yet is accurate for what the concept they're teaching. So like books like learning about cylinders and, cones and different shapes like that. It's hard to write down for, a kindergarten first grader that the book is engaging, but yet it is also accurate and is teaching them the concepts. So those are really challenging, and they're a lot of fun for me to write.
We have got a great guest with us today, Lorna Mitten with us today. She joins us live here on a big broadcast. So you have all sorts of different things you've done. Which do you prefer, writing, editing, publishing?
I actually prefer the editing and publishing side of things. I like to write, but it's not really my favorite part of it all. I really like the editing and working with the authors and working with designers and seeing books come together. That's really what I enjoy the most and the most passionate about.
Lauren Mitten with us today. She joins us live here in our big broadcast. You work with several young authors and new to publishing authors. Why do you choose to work with these authors?
I think I choose that because that's my background, having been a teacher. It's just a natural fit for me to work with young authors. I did work as a writing consultant for many years where I taught teachers how to teach writing and worked directly with kids. So it's a natural place for me. And through that, I came across a lot of teachers who had a passion for writing but didn't know how to get started either. So it's the combination of always being a teacher and enjoying working with young kids and seeing them develop their passions, and then also working with adults who have always wanted to be a writer and never had the opportunity. So, coaching them through the beginning stages and the whole process. So
Lorna K. Mitten is with us today here in our broadcast. She joins us live here on our big program. So what are some of the challenges and or benefits of working with young authors?
some of the challenges of working with young authors is just, their age. So they may not have the same life experiences. So sometimes you really have to push them hard to get them to see outside their world. And think diverse in their writing. So that's probably one of the biggest challenges. But it's also a benefit, too, because they're also fresh to the world and they don't have a lot of preconceived ideas, so they're very creative, and that's really fun to work with as well. So,
Lauren K. Mitten, she's with us today here in our broadcast, and Lorna is with us. She joins us live here in our broadcast. I see you publish chapter books, picture books. Are picture books easier to publish than chapter books?
no, they're not. In fact, I think picture books are probably harder than chapter books. In chapter books, you have a lot of words, but in picture books, every single word counts, and you have to get that down so tight in the manuscript, the writing part of it, and then the integration of the illustrations and the whole design. Every little thing counts in a picture book. While chapter books definitely have their challenges, I think that there is you have a little more leeway in chapter books than you do in picture books. So.
Fantastic. It is Lorna K. Mitten with us today. She joins us live here on a big broadcast on iHeartRadio and also AMFM247.com. How do you determine if a manuscript is good and something you want to publish?
It depends. A lot of manuscripts, if there's something unique, if there's something that has a new twist on something that is common, like our book Cinder Yeti, it's a new twist on the Cinderella story, but obviously it's starring a Yeti. But it also has a message to it, and I think that is really important. The other thing is the author and how willing the author is to work and be engaged with the process. It's not an easy process to go through editing and publishing and having people, look at your manuscript and make changes and things like that. So it's a combination, and a lot of times it's a gut instinct. I know whether a book is good and whether it's going to make a good book or whether it's not.
Lorna K. Mitten is with us today. She joins us live here on a broadcast. And so what do you read when you're not reading at work?
I don't read very much because I'm reading work most of the time, but I tend to read, believe it or not, picture books and young adult fiction, and then I read a lot of nonfiction as well. Those would probably be my 3 areas that I read the most.
Well, you've got a great guest with us today. She joins us live here in the broadcast. So are you currently working on writing any new books?
I have a few in my head, but I'm not really focused on them. I'm really focused on publishing the books of other authors. So that's what I'm focusing on right now. So I'm really not spending any time writing. We've got a lot of great projects coming out, and I'm excited for those.
So what are some of the new books that Baloo Books is publishing?
Well, in October, we have our teen author, Sarah Frank, who has already written. She started her series, One Chance, and we have One Chance and Two Secrets out, and her this time, instead of a chapter book, her book that's coming out is called Cloudy Days, and it is a picture book about anxiety. And it's written by Sarah, who's 17, and illustrated by another teen, Katie Bell. And it's just a perfect time for this book, with a lot of kids experiencing anxiety, so it's a great book for that. We also have a really funny book coming out called Dear Humans, and it's a letter to humans from chickens, and how we really are more alike than different. It's quite a lot of fun. And then one of our big releases coming out is Ruffian, and it's by Precious Mackenzie, and it's a historical fiction book. It's the story of the thoroughbred racehorse Ruffian, who's known as the greatest filly, and it's told through the eyes of a fictional character, Meg, and it's a great chapter book. It's just a great read. So those are some of the ones coming out. We also have a Micah, the Mighty Marathoner, and His Friends, which is by another teen author, and her name is Mackenzie Snell, and it's actually about her brother. Her brother has some disabilities, and this is her second book about him, and all the proceeds from this book go to support the Micah's Miles organization, where they give back to other charities. It's a really amazing little organization. So.
Well, I appreciate you making time for us today before we let you go. Mention website, social media, how we get a hold of you, everything.
Yeah, it's www.belubooks.com, and we're on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and it's all as Belu Books. And we're just really want to give a shout out to the Southern California Publishers Association and Zerwin Zucker, and also Linda Radke with Story Monsters. They've been a great help for us in setting things like this up for us, so we really appreciate them.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you making time for us today, and we will talk to you soon. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day, my friend. Thanks for being with us.